Here's the the big gate to get in. Tangerine tree that the previous tenant planted. Um, Bunch of canes, some bananas I put over there. Bunch of hibiscuses along the fence, bamboo, more tea plants, soursop tree that I got at the local grocery store down the road. Um, this is where I put my burn pile, and this is where I put my trash until they pick it up. That is a giant bromeliad, same family as a pineapple, except it doesn't fruit, and it's about 4 feet tall, so it's huge. And then there's a bunch of invasive guava trees I cut down. So these guys are just huge, and they kill everything else because of the oil that's in them. This is the new section of the garden. I just started cultivating this. Bunch of roses from my friend who passed away. Seven Sisters rose. It has an incredible smell and constantly blooming with thousands of buds all the time. Taro, peas, trumpet flowers for their smell, more taro, lettuce, carrots, mustard greens. Over here, there's some garlic. There's pumpkins. There's one pumpkin on this vine. I had two, but I'm an amateur at growing pumpkins. I obviously don't know what I'm doing, so I kind of screwed it up, but that one. But these are all mustard greens that are flowering. I decided to let them flower so I could get more seeds. Some of my oregano, it does way better under the tent, but I planted some out here just so I'd have backup. This is edible ginger. There's a bleeding heart vines, a couple of them that my friends gave me. Some basil that I planted from the grocery store cuttings that I bought fresh, and I've been planting cuttings everywhere because I love basil. More sweet potatoes. I gotta weed this out. There's another. Oh, the pumpkin seems to be taking over there. That's good. I didn't even see it doing that. Okay. Here's flower. I forget what this is called. This type of flower. Maybe you know the name of it. There's some lettuce that I have that's flowering right there. That's from the store. I just plant all my vegetable cuttings and they grow. This is a bunch of garlic I planted from the store. This is my cat who's always talking to me. And she's always coming to say hi and hang out. And she loves the camera, so she'll always come on when I'm filming. This is one of my peppers right here. I have about 4 or 5 different kinds. This one, I think this is a Hawaiian Nioi chili peppers, I think. The color's a little different, but I think it's just not well fertilized. That is lemongrass. More peppers right there, that little flowering one. There's some more avocados over there and a pineapple. Pineapples are very hard to grow up here because I'm at about 2,600 feet up, so I'm nowhere near the right weather for pineapples, but they're growing very slowly. And then this is a sweet potato patch I've had to clear out a bunch of times because the pigs keep getting in and tearing it up until I got security and started being more diligent with my fencing and the electric fence. And then the flowers everywhere, hibiscuses that I plant as hedges. And then over here is one of my big avocados, my biggest avocado. You see poking up out above the bananas over there. And you can see a few bunches of the bananas. Here. So this is 2/3 of an acre. This is just the area outside my door, so you can imagine there's a lot more than this. It's one bunch of bananas coming in. There's another bunch right there. There's about 8 bunches coming in right now. Bananas do really well over here. This is the apple bananas, the tiny very sweet ones. And then this is, I think this is more of the golden cane. Yeah, this is my golden cane. I have golden sugar cane, and I have purple. It's called golden because the color of the cane stalk is yellow, gold, orange. More taro, more sweet potatoes. I like the greens more than I like the potatoes. I'm not a big starch eater, so the greens are really good for you and tasty. Lots more roses. Lots more roses. I'm not going to show you my tin can pile over there. Well, there you go. Now you see it. Gardenias, more roses. Roses, roses, roses everywhere. Hibiscuses everywhere. And then here's some more of my turmeric. Olena, it's called in Hawaiian, because it has a beautiful golden, orangey yellow color. The pond is behind this row of plants over here. You can't see it because of all the grass. I got a weed whack. More banana transplants that I recently planted. That's why they're so small. Some pink hibiscus. Here's some wild roses I found down the road right here. This rose right here. Ow, I just pricked myself. But you see they're really cute, tiny little pink roses. I don't know who imported these. I don't think there is a native rose, so I think somebody must have imported those and just abandoned them. And then you can see part of my pig fencing and some of my electric fence. And this is kava right here, baby kava, which is a drink you make. It numbs your throat. It's kind of like alcohol, but it's more mild. It's really pleasant. It's like a tea, and it has a really cool kind of numbing, euphoric kind of effect. Here's a little baby. This is a little baby papaya. I have one that's about 5 feet tall because my giant papaya died recently. It was just rotted to death. It was too wet up here, and it produced many not very good papayas. There's some purple sweet potatoes. It's like the Okinawan kind. So I have to, as you can see, I have to maybe cut back this lemongrass and then remove all this extraneous grass that's growing over here. I've been digging all the grass out of my beds because the pigs got into it and destroyed everything, and I've had to recover. That's a fig tree that I thought had died, and it's not dead. It's doing really well. There's my newer rosemary bush. Some more bleeding heart vine my friend gave me the other day. Some strawberries. Here's more oregano, and I think this is a jabong, which is a giant. Jabong is a giant citrus. It's like a grapefruit, but the rind is like an inch thick. But it's delicious. It's delicious citrus fruit. Common in Asia, not so common to Americans. Here's another one of my oreganos. Doing really well. Here's another basil cutting that I just planted, so it's not quite sprouted yet. More purple sweet potatoes. Another pineapple, more brand new papaya, brand new pineapple, slightly more mature basil, some baby bananas that are growing up really well. And then these giants right here, these are giant lemongrass that I just let grow out of control just because it keeps the grass under control. Some more turmeric right there. See that little plant? More basil in the distance. That's a coconut, actually. They don't usually grow up all this high up on the volcano. I'm about halfway up Mauna Loa here, so it's very unusual for coconuts to grow up here, but apparently they will grow. I read online. They'll just grow extremely slowly and probably be stunted and probably not produce fruit, but it was just a fun experiment. I threw a coconut in the ground and it sprouted. So some more bananas, tons of bananas, more golden cane, and the tree is grabbing at my hair. Some hapu'u ferns. These are the giant tree ferns like you see in Jurassic Park movies. This is an ohia tree. These are the native trees. I cut down all the guava and guavy. There's another brand new banana I just planted over there. And then over here is the pond. And then on the island in the pond, pond has an island. Here's a bunch of my turmeric. It's finally sprouting. I planted it here like a year ago. It's finally coming up. And this is Coster's Curse, which is like a hairy blueberry. It's tasty, tastes like a blueberry, but it's highly invasive, so I just cut it back or pull it out. But if you cut it back, then you get more berries, so I keep it long enough to get the berries and then I cut it back. So behind the island is my other taro patch, and you can see some of the purple sugar cane. Some bamboo my neighbor gave me. Over there is a bunch more sugar cane around the other edge of the pond, and the other 2/3 of the garden is just a mess, so I'm not even going to show it to you right now. And my cabin is right behind those tea plants, and it looks horrible from the outside, so I'm not really going to show it to you either. But I'll show you the view out the bedroom window. The view is really cool. And then there's my bridge. Used to be a dock, but it kind of fell apart, so I turned it into a bridge. So there's a mini tour so far.